Robbins Lumber, which saw a tragic fire and explosion at its Searsmont facility last month, is now fully operational again. The company says the mill began processing orders again last Tuesday and returned to full operations Thursday evening thanks to the efforts of employees and partners. The company's coating facility, about 5 miles from the mill, has continued normal operations. Robbins Lumber says it has built a temporary on-site warehouse to help keep up with demand. They are also using a location in Sanford for additional warehouse space and have increased production at its mill in East Baldwin. The fire and explosion on May 15th killed Morrill firefighter Andrew Cross and injured 12 others, including first responders and mill workers, including members of the Robbins family. In the update, Catherine Robbins Halstead says owners Jim and Alden Robbins, as well as family member and EMS worker Lily Robbins, continue to receive excellent care at a Boston hospital, and they remain hopeful and encouraged by their progress, and they continue to hold those affected and recovering in their hearts. And those that wish to give to the victims of the Searsmont fire and explosion can still do so. The Main Strong fundraiser has been extended for 2 more weeks. So far, the fundraiser has raised more than $430,000. The Main Strong Memorial Foundation has matched $13,000. You can give to the fundraiser by following the link on our website.